Everybody, it's Delana. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the new podcast series coming out from Meghan Markle called Confessions of a Female Founder. So I had some thoughts on that. It's coming out on Lemonada Media. Just a few things I wanted to break down is one, kind of where her angle's at and her expertise in that kind of area. Two, I think the name's been done before, but we'll break that down. And the third thing I want to talk about is my own personal journey as an entrepreneur and having to do it without any name recognition whatsoever. Moved countries, came here unknown, and just started something from scratch. So, anyway, stick with me. We're going to break it down. So the first thing I want to talk about is her post on Instagram about her new podcast on Lemonada. She says, "I'm so excited to share with you something else I've been working on, Confessions of a Female Founder, my new podcast with Lemonada Media. I've been having candid conversations with amazing people who have turned dreams into realities and scaled small ideas into massively successful businesses. They're opening up, sharing their tips, tricks, and tumbles, and letting me pick their brains as I build out my own business as ever. It has been absolutely eye-opening, inspiring, and fun because what's the point if you can't have some fun on this wild adventure?" First episode airs April 8th. So I had a few thoughts about that. One, I heard like when this first came out, like first came out with the deal, I heard that she's not actually getting the payout, obviously, that she did get with Spotify, but she's actually going to get paid out per like advertisers as someone normally would do if they had a podcast. I really don't think there's a lot of upfront fees there, so I think she's going to have to prove herself to prove that there's an audience, and I think that's really good. I don't think Lemonada can afford to pay the big bucks, so doing it kind of like a la carte this way, that she's going to have to kind of prove to have the watchers or listeners out there, that's going to kind of correlate with how she's going to get paid on this one. Like I said in my other videos, I think that there's so many haters out there that are just dying to listen to cut it apart. I think it's all like content creation. I heard someone ask some other content creator, like, "Oh, what advice would you give her to help kind of Megan turn around?" She said, "I wouldn't tell her anything." She she said, "I love that she's a complete disaster." She goes, "It gives me something to talk about." She goes, "If she got it all right," she goes, "I would have nothing to talk about." So, but like I said, she's laughing to the bank because if love her or hate her, we're all listening and we're all watching. So good for her. I think that's great. I did do a little bit of a deep dive into the Lemonada website. There doesn't seem to be a lot of really successful podcasts that they've had in the past. I kind of click on one and kind of look through it, and it kind of start date and end date, and nothing seems to that I could find that has been successful and ongoing. So it will be very interesting to see how this is received by the audience. The second thing I want to talk about is that the name has already been used. There's a girl named Ashley Campbell, and she has a podcast, or I think it's a YouTube channel or podcast about Confessions of a Founder. And there's also another one that's called Confessions of a CEO. I just think that if you're going to be on that large of a scale, it's hard to like steal somebody else's name. Like, she has such recognition throughout the world that to copy somebody else, people, these internet sleuths out there, they're going to pick it up instantaneously and have call her out on it. It obviously, as we see, as soon as it came out, I think it was like God, within hours, people are saying, "Oh, this she's copied this, she copied that." When she did her as ever logo, it was copied from a little town in Portugal or Spain. They had the exact same logo. So just be creative. I think we're all looking for something, for her to be creative, give us something new, give us something positive to talk about. So it will be very interesting. Want to know if you guys will be listening. I'll probably listen to the first episode, see if it's any good. But like the archetypes, I think I listened to one and then she lost me. She lost me at the rest of them. So, anyways, your thoughts on that? Let me know if you'll be listening. The last thing I want to talk about is my own entrepreneurial journey here in the US. I'm from a small town in Canada, moved down here to Scottsdale, Arizona, back in early 2000, and we started a restaurant nightclub business down here. We did not know a soul. So when I think about Meghan Markle starting her business, like she has, to me, she's got. My dad used to say, "You got the world by the ass." She has the world by the ass. She's got recognition. She's got, she has her name out there. People know who she is. She has everything in her favor to be successful. So, and she also has the resources. She had the resources for American Riviera Orchard to go do, a trademark discovery. Like, why wouldn't you do all that before you put it out there? How come there's no products? Why is that? I don't know, just a million questions. So when we came down here, like I said, we knew nobody. We opened up this nightclub. We took essentially everything we had and put it into this nightclub. We sold we sold our house. Used all our cash that we had. And by the time the nightclub was built, we had no furniture. We actually took the furniture from a house that we sold in Toronto, sent it down here, so at least we could furnish the nightclub with some furniture. We were all in. I like when they have that saying, "You burn the boat." Well, like we burned the boat. There was no way back. We were coming down here to be successful. We opened the business. My husband at the time, he was very much against marketing. He was in the nightclub business in Toronto, very successful. Came down here, knew nobody. So we really had to start from scratch. And he did not believe in any kind of print marketing. Back then, early 2000s, there was no social media, that kind of stuff. So we really started from the ground up. And that means grassroots. I mean, going in every single night to an empty bar, and the few people that walked in say, "Hey, my name's Delana. Nice to meet you. You know, can you come back next week with some friends? I'll buy you all a round of drinks." And I did that week after week after week. I remember driving home. To get home, it was like a half an hour drive on the highway, and I would just cry my eyes out. And it's not easy being an entrepreneur. Um, there was no proof of concept. Our bar was all white on the inside. It very much catered to women. So that was nothing. They didn't really do that back in the early days. So a completely white nightclub inside. It was called the Devil's Martini. Great nightclub, great name. We actually had already had the name because it was what was called in Toronto. But to bring it down here, um, you know, it didn't mean anything when we were here. So we had one big grand opening party. Everybody came, and then the next week it was empty again. So it's just a lot of perseverance. Will be interesting to see how Meghan Markle's business goes as ever. The quality of products, like we certainly didn't have Netflix on our side. So, in my opinion, she has everything going for her. She's got name recognition. She's got advertising. She's got Netflix in her back pocket. She's got resources come out the wazoo. So it'll be interesting to see how successful her company as ever is. I don't think it's going to be anything to the level of Goop. I don't think she really specializes anything like Martha Stewart did. Like Martha Stewart really seemed to know what she was doing and brought her expertise. I don't see that. But again, everybody's curious. Everybody will buy something just to critique it. But after that point, once everybody's had one, do they go back and buy more and more and more? At what point does this whole phenomenon die off? Very interesting. So, anyways, let me know your thoughts. Is she going to succeed being an entrepreneur in as ever? Hopefully, she does take some points from the women that she'll be interviewing, and hopefully she's successful. It'll be really interesting to see. So again, let me know your thoughts. Please like, subscribe. Really appreciate the subscriptions. So stick tuned. I got more videos coming. Thanks. Bye.